What's happening? What's happening? Happy Sunday. Time to get down. With the get down, it's time to be accountable for your wins and your mistakes. Are they mistakes or are they the things that's making you great? What's going on, Justin?
Let's go every day Monday.
Every day is Monday. Every day leg day. That's what you say.
Every day leg day.
Is that the day that everybody don't like, right?
Right, exactly. That's the day. Women love leg day. Men don't like leg day.
Men say we gotta have muscles up here and little skinny little twig legs.
I don't
Is
know
that
what.
what people doing in real estate too? We want to go real big on wholesaling and never take none of these doors down for ourselves. I think that's what people are doing, which I understand because it seems like a lot of people just they get in the game and they make it like, well, I can only wholesale because I don't have money, I don't have credit, I don't have a lot of cash, I don't have these resources. Which, yes, you do need some resources because depending on your exit strategy, things can happen. Like my house this week, I had to put a part on an air conditioning unit, $525. Not a lot, but it can be a lot if your cash flow $100 a month. You just wiped out 5 months of cash flow, and on one part. So everything makes a difference. Anything interesting happened with you this week, Justin?
I'm got a lot of moving pieces and stuff. I would say yesterday door knocking went the best that I've ever had, bar none. It's not even close.
Really? So what was the little tweak that made door knocking better this week versus before?
I would say that I go out um with the intent. I just have all of the information ready when I go door knocking now. So if I can identify based on my research if the person is actually living in the home or if they did different stuff like that. So a lot of times I might not even go door knock the foreclosure. I just go door knock the son house and then make contact with them and then talk to them about whatever situation going on. So um
So
yeah, I had a
doing real guerrilla marketing.
real good success yesterday. It was amazing. Almost every person we door knock, I made contact with someone.
Mm. And so you're only door knocking pre foreclosures, is that correct?
Yes.
So they got an auction date coming up within the next 3 weeks. We're gonna make contact with them. Anybody seem like they want to play ball?
Yeah, I got two people yesterday, two couples yesterday. One of them have a auction on Tuesday. So they on board. We're gonna file a restraining order tomorrow.
So you ain't even playing no more, Justin. You going straight for the restraining order, no games. We gonna put a temporary restraining order known as a TRO. Stop the auction. That'll give you at least 10 days to figure something out. Is that what you plan on doing?
100% tomorrow on that. Then if man, I get Chris, I get that mug, boy.
It got equity too, or what?
I haven't even looked at the equity and stuff of it yet.
Mhm.
It's a great property though. Somebody gonna bring 20 large to come.
You already know.
They come with 20 large, easy.
So that TRO, temporary restraining order, is a game changer.
They come with 20 large tomorrow.
Wow. So you can is somebody living in the property now, or they already got to be out?
Nope, they ain't living in there. It's ready to go. We ready to pop.
It's already vacant. The seller's on board. We just got to go through the paperwork to make the paperwork.
It's
So
gonna be
you
a
licking your
beautiful.
lips already. You're not supposed to be licking your lips already. You ain't got it yet, Justin.
It's gonna be a beautiful situation.
So you've already identified that once we got the seller, they just got to do what we tell them to do.
It's done deal.
So you know the saying I always say that real estate is actually not difficult. It's these people that are difficult. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with that.
And you've been seeing that more and more. If you learn the people, everything else gonna fall through right.
I'm dealing with some difficult people right now. I got a person I need to take to get their will certified, and they've been not performing tomorrow. So I'll be taking them down to the courthouse tomorrow. Then we gotta go apartment shopping. So I gotta do some research on some apartments tonight, and get their package together so we can get them about the house because I got people who already got down payments and ready to go and ready to move in.
Master people. See, it's like being a psychologist, a doctor, a problem solver, a real estate investor, an agent, an attorney. You got to be like multiple things in this game, huh?
100%.
Wow. Well, that's the game I like. Just um, we got to talk to the people and hopefully they work a deal out and we get it going.
So one of the deals I want to get your opinion on and stuff is a situation where they try to talk you into giving them more and more time or whatever, or they try to say ridiculous things like, "Hey, can I, basically, can you buy the house and then we continue to live in the house," which is never an option, right? So I will say that I have been having with yesterday. I had a conversation with the guy, and their auction is the 30th of October. So he was like, is it a situation where you would give us a little bit of time if we, work with you and stuff to get about the house and everything. And I'm like, we have to see what we can do. It just depends.
Right. Never say no already, but in your mind, no.
Yeah.
What do they need time for? That's really where I try to start at. What is the time? What's the time frame needed?
They need to find somewhere to move because at the end of the day, they have a lot of junk. They are borderline hoarders. So they have a lot of stuff that they need to move out the house.
Yeah. That's the hardest part for them is figuring out what they're going to keep and what they're going to get rid of because everybody got too much stuff. Everybody in America, you, me, and everybody else, we all got too much stuff. And you find out when it's time to move, like, damn, I ain't seen that in 5 years. You still got this sweater we ain't worn in 5 years.
That's gonna be another property. There's gonna be another 20 large to the table. Great neighborhood.
That's for so you don't want to stay in the hood no more, like these rundown areas. You're going straight to the good areas.
Let's go.
No, I'll get you a $20,000 house, a little $30,000 house. Go ahead, Justin.
The numbers don't be working.
You can't get 20 large out of a 20 large house.
Man, you can't get nobody who want to move in it. Get in it. You know what I'm saying? They don't. The tenants don't want to move in it.
Damn.
I can't do nothing without no tenant. The game is frozen. One thing to find a buyer and investor. There's another one to this week was actually a really good week. I got a couple of houses under contract this week and everything, and this actually have been a really good week. Somebody pretty much gave me a situation off of Facebook. Just hit me up like, "Hey, Justin, you buy houses too?" I'm like, "Yeah, I buy houses," and then sent them the information and everything for the property.
And that's all it is, making sure people know you exist. People try to make this stuff, more difficult than it is. Like, oh, I got to go spend a bunch of money and do a bunch of marketing and get a bunch of dialers and get a bunch of software. You can do that route, but it's not necessary in every case. You just need to understand that the people that are out here that need you know you exist. That's the main thing. Regardless if we're wholesaling, regardless if we're going to buy a property and put somebody else in it or whatever we're going to do. Whether we're going to buy a property and live in it, Justin, that's what people be forgetting. You can buy a house to live in.
Right.
And don't got to pull your credit. Don't got to get your bank statements, W-2s, tax returns. It's not necessary. But,
right.
Everybody wants to do it.
Yeah. I've been having some very favorable situations fall in my lap. So all I got to do is just execute on it. Once I execute, win the game.
So do you feel like it's hard to consistently keep doing that every week, a good week like this week?
Nah, it's low-key part-time work. If you take 5 minutes to look up people's names and contacts in their family, that take 5 minutes. You can look up, 7 houses in 30 minutes, and then you just go door knock, and they're probably driving there probably takes the most amount of time, but somebody can do this in the evenings and be closing a house a month. At a house a month, that should be like an extra $8,000 on your income.
You wouldn't believe how many people say, "Oh, I don't have time," or "Oh, I got to do this." And I'm like, man, you got to get your priorities straight. Do you want to be free? Because freedom ain't free. It's gonna take a little bit of sacrifice, a little bit of time, and execution. And most people don't execute, so it just makes it, I guess, easier. Would you consider this to be an easy market? Like St. Louis, like going to do this, or you feel like it's a lot of competition when you go to these houses? Do you see like other stickers on the door or on the wall, or people flyers hanging up, stuff like that?
Yeah, I will say it is an easy market because most people not gonna They not tackling nothing that ain't like hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're not touching, stuff. The stuff got to have, $300,000-$400,000 spreads for people to touch it in St. Louis.
Yeah. And a
Yeah,
lot of people only do deals that are they check the equity and be like, oh, they ain't got no equity, so I don't mess with them. So they'll say the house is worth 300, but they owe 120, and that's the only house they'll go to. But little do they know, the ones with little to no equity could still be deals as well, right?
right.
And so that's where I think the separation is, because the ones I go to, whenever I go to, maybe once or twice a week, if that much, I find out that the ones with a bunch of equity, I'm like, wow, everybody been here before me. How did all these people get here so quick? Oh, they got all this equity. That's why they owe $40,000 on a $250,000 house. Now everybody want to go knock on their door. So I don't really get into all that. I really just try to connect with the person, figure out their situation, go through the 4 pillars, and see if we can help them out, regardless of the loan and all of that stuff. That stuff does not matter when we're using creative real estate. As long as the seller wants to play ball, we have a solution for them. Wouldn't you agree with that?
100%.
That's right. What up, Rich?
What's going on, man? What's up, guys? What's up, Justin?
So if you're rich, let me get 100 million.
You got more money than I do right now.
Oh, you rich already.
I was born that way.
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Cool beans. So yeah, this real estate game is open for those who see it. Let's see, we got a question here. They say, what is the step-by-step process to stop the auction? There's a bunch of ways to stop the auction. How many ways is it to stop an auction, you think, Justin? If you could just guess. How many ways? Different tactics, different techniques.
I would say at least 7.
That's a lot of ways to stop an auction.
Yeah.
So out of all of them, which one do you feel is like the easiest?
Calling the bank. Calling the bank. What options you have?
Right. So before we get to the bank, we need that seller ready to go and ready to work with us, because without them, we can't do nothing. And that's why we preach and teach the same thing. Get the seller on board, because without them, you can't talk to the bank. You can't talk to their trustee, that's the attorney that's dealing with the auction for the bank. You can't do anything. You need the seller or the borrower of the property. But I guess you really can't even say that's all the way true, because I've done deals where the borrower was dead and I was able to work with the family and still get the deal to go through. So every case is different, but yes, we need to be able to contact the bank and see what options are available. Sometimes banks can tell you, they need 15,000 or they need 4,000. I've seen some with small amounts like 3,500 to catch a loan up to bring it current. That's crazy work. 3,500 just to catch it back up and take it over like nothing wrong. And that's one option, is to reinstate the loan. That's what they call it, reinstatement, which means it costs money. But we don't want to spend no money, do we? Not really.
If possible.
If possible. Let me see. Rich, I'm going to give you a quiz. What is one way you think we could stop an auction, if you could take a guess?
I'm not too sure, because right now I only do like absentee and vacant wholesaling, so like a lot of this stuff is new to me. I know I heard you could door knock, but I really am not too familiar with the pre-foreclosure process in Missouri.
Okay, well, it's the same in all the states generally, because it's dealing with the bank. The process is different due to timelines and the type of auction they have, but generally it still comes back to one, get our seller on the hook or our borrower. We want to make sure they're willing to play ball. They want to basically solve the problem that they have, which is the auction. 2, I try to see, I don't want them to stay in the house like Justin was just saying a minute ago. I really don't want the person staying in the property. Some people say, oh, they can stay a little longer, but I'm like, nah, I really prefer to get them out of there, just preferably, because if they are not paying the bank, what makes you think they're going to pay you? What kind of superpower do I have that Wells Fargo don't have? Other than going to see them or something. But, the bank not going to send anybody out to see them. They're just going to send paperwork. So, so the reinstatement of the loan is one way to stop the auction. Another way would be what he mentioned a little bit ago, called the TRO, temporary restraining order, which is basically going to stop the auction. You usually get about 10 days. You got to file some paperwork at the court, things like that, and basically get a restraining order on that lender to stop that auction. And it only gives you a few days to get, your deal done. It won't stop it forever, but it will buy you some time if you don't need it. Another way, very simple, is just basically contact the bank and, like he said, ask them what options are available. Sometimes they tell you you can reinstate the loan. Sometimes they have a program. Sometimes they have something called you can do a loan modification where they say, oh, we can restructure your loan and make your payments lower and extend your loan out to up to 40 years. That's crazy. 40 years, not 30. Give you a new loan for up to 40 years and you're going way out into far away land. You can do that. A loan modification. Another way you could do it would be a partial claim. A partial claim to me is better than a modification, because partial claim is just taking the arrears. So say they owe $20,000 in arrears with fees and attorney fees and junk fees, like to catch their loan of $20,000, they can take that whole $20,000 and put it on the back of the loan in the silent second lien position, and it'll just sit there until you pay it off sometime in the future, later on down the line. So it's different programs that they have, but most people don't ever ask. They just put their head in the sand. I ain't got no money. I'm just gonna let the bank take it. And so those are just some of the ways that we go to stop an auction. You heard of any of that stuff before, Rich?
Oh, not really.
Oh wow, that's all new to you, huh?
That's all new. Yeah, I always just tried to stay away because I was just like, I don't know anything about that because I know my mom was going through pre foreclosure, but she lives. They did the resettlement thing too. So
yeah. So the number one thing is really just keep lines of communication open. Putting your head in the sand and not asking questions, not figuring out what can be done is definitely not the answer. Definitely. Did you have any you want to add on that, Justin, to stop an auction?
Yeah, you can always, blow up the bank. Not
Blow up. Oh my God. No. Don't be blowing up banks.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So these are it all starts though with that conversation. Don't try to overthink this stuff. Just as long as the seller is willing to play ball and do what we tell them to do, we can almost do anything. That's really the moral of the story. We have strategies, tactics, techniques. Do the seller want to sell, or do they realize they need to sell? Because sometimes they put it in their mind that, oh, no, I'm going to figure it out. Oh, my cousin going to give me the money. All the banks said they're going to do this. And they don't follow up. And that stuff just sits and sits and sits. And before you know it, they got an auction date. And when the auction date comes, it's going to be sold to the highest bidder. So that's going to be no fun. So that's what we got. Hope that helped you out there, Malcolm. What's up, Art? And Mayana, all in the background. And Taraya.
Hey,
Hello there, Mayana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Another sunny day in the STL. You working on some deals out here?
Um, Not currently, but I'm trying to start back. I took a little hiatus, I'll call it.
Okay. Well, sometimes we need a little break, but come on back because it's the season to make it. A lot of transactions are done in the fourth quarter, where we're in right now, because there's buyers out here that need to buy right now for tax purposes, for 1031 exchanges, etc., to reduce some of their tax liability. So they're definitely overpaying for stuff, and people are selling as well for that reason. So we always want to keep the marketing going, whether we're out here physically ourselves or not, but making sure people know we exist. What you got cooking? Anything?
So I've been thinking like about getting into land wholesaling. Um, I don't exactly know how. I know it's a little bit different than I guess regular, like with actual houses,
Yeah, a
wholesaling.
little
So I
bit.
just kind of wanted to learn like the differences with that and see if I can tap into that.
So when you think about land, really anything, the person who wants it, why would they want it? Usually a builder. So we
Mhm.
want to, when we're talking about land, we want to go in an area, and this can be anywhere in America, where they're building it. Because who just wants land? Some people may just want land for agricultural or something like that, but generally, when you talk about wholesaling land, you want to deal with what they call infill lots. So like a plot of land that's already segmented for a residence to be built on it. So there's some places down in the Kirkwood area and, you know, other places. I don't know where you want to do this at, but you definitely want to look where there's building. If they're not building, I mean, there's no motivation for somebody to buy the land. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not that it's any easier. I mean, I guess it could be easier, but it's a little bit different than a house because land is easier to look at because there's no building there. It's just land. But when you are looking at that, you want to see if there's any utilities there, like is the plumbing ran, utilities basically all together, waters, sewer, things like that. All that stuff makes a difference, and that's going to be more valuable to a person if it's already has utilities
You
versus
talking
just
about for land, or you talking about a house?
for land. For land.
Oh.
So when we're talking about land, what is this land zoned? Can it be rezoned? I mean, there's a bunch of questions you can go down, but generally we want to think the person at the end that wants it, what do they want? And how do I bring that to the marketplace? Make sense?
Yeah.
What made you want to get into land?
I guess I just kind of heard people saying it's a little bit easier to do than um regular, actual houses and stuff like that, just because of the certain factors that you don't have to that you kind of take away, like sellers being more, so I feel like people are more attached to a property than like land. You got that, and then like I guess maybe comping would be different, maybe slightly easier as far as that.
Yeah. Well, it
Stuff like
can
that.
be, but that's not really the big thing. It's really more important, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, to make sure whoever wants to sell anything in real estate, commercial, land, residential, they know you exist and they come to you and bring you the problem. That's really the moral of the story. They need to bring you that problem, and then we figure out if you don't know what we can do with that particular property. Because even with land, sometimes they want too much. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times they want. I mean, it could be the same thing. It's just difference in comping, but that's not that difficult. It either is a low enough deal to wholesale to somebody for cheap, or it's a retail property. They need to list it on the MLS. You see them listed on the MLS all the time, and just sitting on there for 6 months, just sitting. Land, and they don't have, it's a double-edged sword. Like you say, it may be easier to deal with, but it's easier for them too because they don't have to do anything other than what, cut the grass if they have grass. But some people just have land they don't do anything to. It's just overgrown and old taxes on it. It's just sitting. I've dealt with sellers who had a property and they own the lot next door, and they're like, oh, I'll say the lot next door too. And I'm like, I don't even want that lot. Ain't nobody doing nothing with it. What do I want that lot for? So I can have somebody come cut the grass every 2 weeks. That's a bill. Unless somebody's building on it, or unless we're going to create something there. Land is valuable only if somebody's going to do something with it. And I know a lot of us think that, land, it's important, yes, but its location is important as well. Where is it located? Is it located near something that people want to be by? Is it something we can develop? Now, if you're developing land or got multiple plots, or you can make a subdivision or something, that's something different. So it's a lot of different rabbit holes you can go down there with land. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the easiest for comping reasons. That's not a real reason. We still need a person who has a problem who owns real estate when we get through with all this.
Yeah, also you like less likely to have to actually go to that, plot of land rather than a house. You gotta go in, take pictures and all that type of stuff.
I don't go in and take pictures. We do
Well,
deals
maybe not you.
virtually. We do
Huh?
deals virtually all the time.
Yeah, but some of them you do that, like buyers that want you to do that. I've had to do that.
Well, it's all about how you negotiate, because you don't have to
Hmm.
do anything, to be honest. I mean, if somebody brought me some land or even a house, you can always have somebody else go take the pictures if need be. $50. What are we talking about here? Nominal value. If we need to. Or the seller. I've had the seller send me pictures to properties. I don't need to go take a picture of no house. If they motivated, they're going to do what you tell them to do, basically. And that's the thing we have to remember. We're not trying to convince anybody to work with us.
Right.
We're looking for people who need our help. So they're working with you like, man, what you say I need? You just need me to take a bunch of pictures. You need a picture of the furnace. You need a picture of this. You need external pictures. And they're going to do it for you if they're motivated. But if they're not motivated, now they're going to, come up with a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, yeah, I need you to come out and I need you to do this, which is fine if it makes sense. But most of the time, it don't make sense for some of the stuff we do we put all this pressure on ourselves for no reason. So don't think about it as, oh, just because I got to go out to the house or just because I got to go out to it, that's a bad thing. Because if I go to your house, you're going to give me a better deal now. If I got to come meet you, I'm going to charge you for that. You don't know it. But if you make me get out this seat right here to do a deal, you're going to get charged for that. What you think about that, Justin? Is that true? If you got to leave the house, is that a little more cost on it?
I'm going back and renegotiating every deal.
Yeah, for real. Like, if you make me work, I'm going to charge you. I'm sorry. If you make it easy for me, I'm going to make it easy for you. And that's real. But you can't allow them to trick you into, oh, yeah, come on out and take pictures and do this and that and that. Yeah, I love to take some pictures. Hey, is it possible you can send me a couple pictures? It'll be a lot quicker and easier. I can just look it over right now. You know, whatever. You know, it's just all about your game, your communication, your skill set. You know, a lot of this stuff, everything seems easy to the person once they get the skill set. So that's what my guy Jim Rohn say. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. That's all it is. None of this stuff is difficult. You heard that before, Rich?
Yeah, is that the guy from ESPN?
No, Rich Rose.
Okay.
I say, what's his name? Ron. What's the dude's name?
Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn.
Yeah, Jim Rohn. I gave him every different name. Yeah, Jim Rohn, the father of personal development.
Oh, I was way off. Whoops.
What they do?
What
they do?
Not that you added this onto your soundtrack.
You don't know what's gonna come out this thing.
And we gotta do life in jail. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. If I gotta do 50 years.
What they do?
Ain't no whoop-de-doo. How you gonna do it?
It's nothing. It's just time. So yeah, that's the thing with this stuff. So
what got you want to do land?
What
has you wanting to do land?
Oh, I just kind of explained it to him. I said, I've been hearing that it's a couple people saying that it's like easier than regular real estate, actual properties.
You going for easy or you going for getting paid?
Both.
But
I probably should just be going for getting paid.
Somebody gotta pay.
There's too many properties out here. I can't get to them. Chris can't get to them. Rich can't get to them. There's too many. Too many people that need our help. People who need real help too. Like a person I talked to yesterday, they really was in a situation where, you know, the guy don't understand nothing about no loans. You know, his dad left him a house and everything. The neighbor calling in with code violations and stuff like that. And he was like, look, Justin, I don't know nothing about this stuff, but if you can help me out, man, just kind of explain to me what's going on. And he said, you know, I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm like, okay, cool. So there's a lot of people out here who have real estate problems and they just don't know what to do. And they got the bank, you know, hitting them up, or they got, you know, taxes or, you know, sewer liens and all this stuff. And, you know, people need help out here. We got to get in contact with them whatever way we can. You know, I wish somebody would have reached out to my mom back in the day, you know, 10 years ago. She had lost her property. She didn't even know she had a contract for deed. Don't know nothing about real estate. Just signed up for some stuff, and you know, we could have sold their property. Instead, she just left it alone. So they help out here for real. I don't really care for land because land don't have people connected to it. Really, I mean, it's just, you know, you get rid of. I mean, it's still the person who's selling it, but you know, who you helping?
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of why I'm attracted to it, because I've come to realize that honestly, wholeheartedly, I honestly hate cold calling. Like I realize some people like it, it's really for them, but I don't really. I don't like it. And I know even with wholesale land, like you still will have to cold call, but I feel like it's not as bad, like with, you know, a property attached to it.
What about cold calling that you don't like?
I'm not that big of a people person. Like the back and forth, the keep having to call back. It's almost like I know you shouldn't have to convince people like they should be motivated, but even the motivated people, you still I feel like it's still some convincing you have to do, and all of the convincing and all of that is I don't know, it's a lot.
That's a skill set you have to have. I learned that
Yeah.
I don't have that skill set either. So I utilize the skills that I have and partner with somebody that loves to talk to people and sell to people. And not saying land, I don't know anything about land versus real property, but it could just be that maybe you need to find a different way to make money in real estate. Because I don't sell, but I'm able to utilize the skills that I have to make money like on the back end in a different way. So there's always the possibility of partnering with somebody that has that natural skill set of selling. Because you have to have a salesperson on your team
Mhm.
in order to make this work. It's just kind of how it is.
That's what every
Yeah.
business, right? If you don't
You
have
you probably
sales, you
right.
don't have a
Yeah.
business.
You gotta have a sell. You gotta have somebody that is okay with getting no's, getting the phone slammed on them, and can keep going out and selling and is good at it. I'm not good at that, and I'm not even going to try to become good at that. So I learned where my skill set works in this whole real estate market, and so that's what that would be my suggestion to you. Find somebody
Mhm.
that's great at sales and partner with them, and say, look, you're great at sales. I'm great at X, Y, or Z. I'm good at dispo and paperwork and things like that. And so that's kind of what I've decided to do with real estate.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what else I would be good at. Um,
Because there's a lot of steps to this. It's not, everyone who can do sales is not great at dispo. So they might be able to get the deal, but they can't finish it out. Now you got a great deal and it falls through because paperwork wasn't done right. You don't know how to, do all of the things to actually close it and bring it in. So there's different
mhm.
ways to find your space in this. I learned quickly. Sales was not for me.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think that's honestly the reason why I did take a step back. I got burned out a little bit. I feel like I got this close. I had a deal on a contract. It was a crappy deal. Looking back
Mm,
on it was. It
yep.
was the first deal I actually got on a contract. It didn't go through. I still kept trying a little bit after that, but I just kind of took a step back and put it on the back burner. Not gonna lie.
maybe you should start lending money.
That's another way.
I did think about that, but I don't really know how to. I don't know how to get into it. Like, how do you? Because I don't have my personal money to lend. You know what I mean?
Well,
Um.
Chris Monroe can teach you how to do that.
Well, a lot of it is just, being a connector. You
Mhm,
know that Rich needs some money. Justin got the money. You the connector. Same
mhm,
thing we're doing with wholesaling. Really, wholesaling real estate is synonymous with a lot of things we do in life. It's middlemaning. Somebody's in the middle making this thing play like a fiddle.
yep.
So when you think about real estate business and all, it's still lead generation. Somebody got to generate leads or some software. Somebody got to generate leads some kind of way, regardless of what happened with it. Somebody got to also close those leads. Like she was just talking about that salesperson, convert those leads into sales. And then somebody got to dispo it. No matter what, it's the same process over and over and over. You got to generate the lead, convert the lead, dispo the lead. And on the back end, you got the paperwork, transaction coordinating. TC, all we do is paperwork. There's people that build full businesses off just doing paperwork for people.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you don't want to meet a person, get good at the paperwork, but you got to get good at something. You got to bring value to the marketplace. You're not paid by the hour, you're paid by the value you bring to that hour.
Right,
Absolutely.
but I wanna make the big, the big checks the wholesalers make.
You got to make the big sacrifice and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes, whether that's cold calling, whether that's warm calling, whether that's expired listings, whether that's foreclosures, whether that's door knocking. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. That's got to be the mentality. There is
So
no
can those other roles make checks that big, or do you feel like?
Absolutely. So you're not, I would say this, I don't think there's a such thing as being bad at sales. I think you may not like doing direct to the consumer, but even when you're working on the back end, you're still selling to people in some type of way. You're talking to people and you're trying to convince people of something. So if you bring a certain skill set, like, hey, I do paperwork, that's how you leverage yourself when you do a deal. So you can still do 50% on a deal doing just paperwork. It depends on how you leverage yourself when you come to somebody that's doing a deal, especially if you bring a deal to somebody and say, hey, look, I got a seller. I would prefer you talk to them, close the deal. I'll do the paperwork. why not negotiate 50% on that deal? You know, so it's all about being able to negotiate what you bring to the table. Like Chris said, if you really want to make the big bucks, there are probably people who can do the whole thing by themselves, realistically.
Yeah.
And that's the big bucks. But if you need to partner with somebody, I'm someone that has to partner with people. I recognize I'm not going to make 100% of the deal. So I just try to make sure that I'm able to bring something valuable to the table and articulate why I deserve a certain percentage when the deal is done.
What do you think about fixing up houses? Do you think you like cleaning up and decorating and all of that stuff?
You said cleaning up and like decorating.
Staging, it's all parts of this
Um,
game. It never stops.
um,
One real estate transaction, about 25 people eat. You know that, right?
Exactly.
One deal, about 25 people get to eat off that one deal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You can do flips, do fix and flips, deal with contractors and all those people.
Do
You make
what with fix and flips though? Like,
Manage them, anything. There's always something to do. There's always work to do.
find a property, get somebody to give you money to take on the property. You fix it up, you deal with the contractors and stuff, get you a team together, fix it up, make it pretty, and then put it back on the market and sell it.
oh, see, yeah, that's a big leap. I feel like for me, like a big step. Um, I don't think I'm quite ready to do that.
Do you work full time?
um, so actually, I went part time this year. I'm part time, but I've still been kind of working full time hours.
Okay.
And I have another business on the side that I went and started.
Then the door is open for you to find.
Mhm.
Like Chris and Justin have just said, there's lots of ways to make money. I would say before the end of this year, sample a little bit of everything and see what you like. You've already decided I don't like sales. I get that completely. So maybe you give it a try. Maybe you try fix and flip. Maybe you try Airbnb. Maybe you try a dispo or some paperwork.
I do want to do Airbnb.
Once you find something you like, stick with that and be relentless about this is what I do in real estate and kind of go for that and start marketing yourself that way. And then people will start seeking you out. Oh, I want to do an Airbnb deal. I got to find, so and so I can do this Airbnb deal with her because she's the expert in Airbnb deals. And you'll find it. It'll come to you.
I'll say this last thing to it. I say lean into what you hate. Grab you a sales book, start reading about sales. And the reason you hate sales is probably because you're not good at it. You're not getting your way in it. Commit,
Yeah.
read books
Yeah.
on sales. I got tons of sales books right here. You read books on sales, learn how to sell, and persuade and negotiate. Our favorite question to ask, my favorite question to ask is, would you sell it for what you owe on it?
Right.
You'll be surprised at how many people will give you their house with that question.
I would say there's two schools of thought, and me and Justin may differ. I think at this age, we lean into what we're good at. I could spend 80 hours trying to become as good of a salesman as him, and I'll never be as good. So why not lean into what I'm already naturally good at and make money there? So it's up to you. Of course, you decide what you want to do. I wouldn't waste my time trying to become a salesperson because it's just not naturally me. I'm going to spend my time becoming really good at what I'm already really good at. And that has worked for me personally. But of course, you decide what you want to do.
That's a good question too for you, Mayana. What are you good at?
There you go.
I don't know how to answer that when it comes to like the real estate world. I don't.
What are you good at, period? Something that you do in regular life can transfer to a good skill in real estate. You just may not be looking at it that way.
What am I good at? I don't know.
You got to get that pimp philosophy.
What's that, Justin?
Proper instructions.
What's that, Justin?
Proper instructions motivate people.
Okay.
Proper instructions motivate people. Come on with it.
Instructions motivate people. I mean,
you got to tell them folks what to do. Hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get your property together. I'm going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to send over the agreement. Is there any reason you wouldn't be able to move forward today?
Maya, I can tell without even knowing you, you're a visionary. So tap into that. You see the vision, tap into that. You're an executor. You might need to figure out where that fits in with real estate, but you'll find it, girl. It's gonna come to you.
Or you can always, you can always marry more money in a day than you can make in a lifetime.
Please
You
don't
said
listen.
marry
Come
more
on.
money.
Don't listen to that's horrible advice.
What he said, Justin just dropped the hardest bar of the week.
So you ain't gotta work no more. Just
If you make your own money, you don't have to worry about it leaving you one day.
Oh,
Right.
my God.
Okay. What she
Oh, man.
said. She know what's up.
Don't get Chris started.
Unless you have a good attorney on your side who will make sure you get half if he decides to do that.
I'm already knowing.
But Mariana, coming back to the cold calling part, you don't have to necessarily make a cold call. Your calls can be warmer. Say you look on the MLS or look on Zillow and you see a house been listed for 100 days. That's probably not going to be too cold of a call. They probably a little more motivated. It's been on for 100 days. Why hasn't it sold yet? It changes up your conversation more so that, oh yeah, I'm going to convince them to sell to me. No. Do you want to sell? Why haven't it sold? Let me see if I can help you guys out. We're interested in buying it. I just had a conversation. It's not to be, over the top, and they're not going to hang up on you or anything if you're dealing with those type of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I found that some of those people is been on the market so long because they're not as motivated. You know what I mean? They want this price and they're just not as motivated to sell if they don't get this price. Either that or I found that some people, those ones that's been on the market for so long, they've already been approached with all of these different offers like creative and stuff. So like, yeah,
Why didn't they take it?
right.
I
Someone they
always
did
want to
not
know
want
that.
to.
I want them to tell me their story and why. Oh, that sounded like that would have been a good deal. Why didn't you take that? And let them explain it.
Yeah.
It's important to understand why. Why are people doing this thing? People move for two things: to move away from some pain or move towards some type of gain. We got to figure out which one they are and give them what they're asking for. If they got that pain, we can solve it. If they want to get some gain, we can solve that too through a creative deal. So it all comes back to how it was explained. Somebody before you might have came on and said, yeah, man, we can just take your loan over. We can just pay your house. We can do that. Yeah, man, let's do that. And just threw it on them like, oh, no, I don't know about that. But when they talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about, i.e. me, i.e. Justin, and they talk to a person that can explain it to them, give them a third-party story, answer their questions and objections, it's a different conversation. It's not the same as the person who just threw it on them and didn't know what they were talking about. See, I don't, whatever somebody did before me is just that. But time keeps going, and then they're still motivated to sell. We gonna give them an option to sell it. I'm dealing with a guy right now. Matter of fact, I'm doing two deals right now. That's from old stuff. One lady from a year ago popped back up. They want to sell a condo. We got that closing up this week. And then I got another guy that I talked to about 6-7 months ago. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Now he motivated. 6 months later, house still vacant, nothing wrong with it. He ready to do the paperwork, contract sent. We finna go into contract with that here. So, time. Just because somebody say no then don't mean it's no now. Especially on a vacant house you're paying a mortgage on. That's not fun. If you moved out of a house, paying a mortgage on an empty house and where you moved to, that's crazy work. And there's people out here doing that, and they would love to sign that house over to you.
And no doesn't always mean no.
It don't. That's just, never take the first no. How about that, Justin?
Right. Because I had a lady tell me, she was like, oh, we already have wholesalers we're paying and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that wouldn't keep you from buying a house from me, would it? I just said, no, it wasn't. Okay,
keep it moving. Exactly.
What we talking about?
See, a natural salesperson, because I would have said, okay, ma'am. You're right.
See, a lot of this come back to just asking the right question. See, when they hit you with some crazy curveball stuff, I hit them with a question. When they answer it, it resonates in their mind. I don't try to convince you should sell your house. No, I say, hey, what happens if you don't sell your house? And they think about it. Dang, the bank gonna take it. Or, oh, wow, I have to keep coming back here fixing on stuff. Or, oh, wow, I got to deal with this. I want it in their mind. So when I plant the right question on them and they start telling me their situation, they're closing themselves for me. I don't have to convince them. Just by them answering my question, they close themselves. That is a skill set, but it can definitely be learned and applied when necessary.
All right.
I think that's kind of like where I struggle at is like I, I'll get some people, and I feel like since I've been doing it like on and off for like the past couple of years, I can tell they're motivated, but they'll be like pretty much like in order to sell the house, they need to get exactly what they put into it. It's like
Mhm.
there's a guy, and I think it's like the area code's like 6323. His house is not the biggest, but there's houses down the street that are like 800,000, and his house. I did the comps like for the square foot. It's like 1,800, but these other houses are like 25, 3,000 because they're new builds. And he's pretty motivated as far as like selling, but like I didn't know what to do because it's not good enough for a wholesale deal. And he just moved for another job, so I think it's a pretty good lead. But I don't know what to do with that. You know, I just don't have the skill for like stuff like that. And that's kind of like sometimes I know there's something that can be done, but I just it's happened a lot since I have been wholesaling on and off.
There's
So
always something we can do with these properties. Always. If a seller is willing to play ball, we're willing to do it. All we need is a buyer and a seller to say yes. We always have a solution, but it may have to get a little creative. And I would tell them that, Mr. Seller, I know you need to get a certain number out of this, but the only way that I see we can do this is probably getting a little creative. Is that something we should talk about or probably not? Oh, no. Tell me what it is. Foaming at the mouth. Tell me what it is. How can we do it? Insert third party story. What we did in the past in a similar situation is we took over the house, we took over the payments, relieving you of all the maintenance, repairs, dealing with the property coming back in from out of town and all of that. And you have the property sold. We just, ask for a little time to get the house paid off in full. You think something like that will help you out or not? And all they can do is say no or yes, or say, oh, well, what do you mean? Well, how will you structure it? Or they might have questions, which is fine. I prefer them to have questions because at least their wheels are spinning now. I don't want them to just say, nah, I got to get 300,000 as cash only and not a penny less. Well, the only way we can structure something like that is something creative, where you get a little bit now and a little bit over time, or you get the payments over time, whatever, something like that. But we have to insert that into our sales, especially if you're wholesaling and generating leads. Every lead we speak to gets the same process, regardless if they like, oh, I want all cash. Fine. You want 100 cash or you want 300 on terms? They'll say, well, damn, how do I get that 300 on terms? They don't want that low ball cash offer. Matter of fact, that's made me make my cash offers even lower. You want cash? Fine, $2. Let's go. But they don't want that. So that's the kind of mindset you have to shift to when we're talking about creative. And if they are open to it, say, okay, great. I'll get you on with our person that handles that. Get them on the phone with me and we'll deal with it. We'll structure a deal with them. You don't have to close them right there, but just see if they're even interested in knowing more about it.
makes sense.
What kind of leads were you working on, Rich, when you do talk to people?
I don't know. I'm kind of a mess sometimes because I accidentally skip trace the same list. Yeah, it happened like a couple of years ago. So this is what happened to me recently was I had a 2.5-year-old list and I've just been pounding it, as far as like just trying to make sure I'm trying to get every last drop out. But I talked to ChatGPT and basically was saying like that's going to cut everything in half. I've gotten a lot of people picking up saying, "Oh, wrong number." I thought they're just BSing me, just lying to me. But I guess it turned out that I think it said like 20 to 40% of people change their phone numbers in 2 to 4 years, which I thought was crazy. So it kind of explains like why, because I've been kind of doing it full time for like the past month. And calling like 4 to 6 hours a day, but I just wasn't getting any leads, So I think I finally found like what was going on. But usually, right now I'm doing absentee and vacant out-of-state owners, or out of county owners too.
So absentee owners and vacant properties, is that right?
Yeah.
Somebody calling you, Rich.
No. Nobody's calling me.
Hello, is this Rich? Oh, your signal gone, buddy. Never mind. Your signal gone out. Oh,
no.
Your
It's the Wi-Fi.
Your Wi-Fi went out of
Let's
what?
see. Let's see.
Are you there, Rich? Uh-oh. The aliens got him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You left a voicemail on my phone saying something about you want to buy my house.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you'd be interested in possibly selling your property at 123 Main Street.
Yeah, I had it on the market. I took it off though, but I still want to sell it.
Okay. What? How long did you have it on the market for? What happened?
I was on for a little while. I had a bad agent, but I'm still trying to sell it.
Okay.
Are you
I think.
a buyer or what do you like? One of those? What they
Yeah, I
call
work with a couple of
wholesaler?
other people. No, I'm not a wholesaler, but I do know, what it is. But I actually work with a group of partners. We like to put properties we either like to flip or we like to add them to our portfolio. Now, is that something that you might be interested in?
Well, I want to sell it, but I don't know if you can buy it or not.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, is that what you have it listed for? Is that what you still want for the property, or are we somewhat
300,000.
negotiable? You said 300,000.
300,000.
Okay. And have you done any updates to the property in the past 5 years?
No, not really. I haven't been going over there that much, but it's a good house. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay. And has the real estate agent talked to you about, I guess, what you could get in that area as far as cash?
No, they wanted to put it on the market, but that didn't work because she didn't really do a lot of open houses and stuff. So I don't know. I just want to sell it, so I don't know. I mean, did you want to buy it or you want to come see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested, but just looking at the information here online about the property, I don't know if we can honestly do an offer at 300,000. That might be a little too high, but we can definitely try to work something out. I mean, what's do you have a certain time frame, or what's your situation look like?
Oh, I just want to sell it before the year end.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I can definitely look into it. Are you looking to sell it on terms?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, see, I don't know what it is either. So that's where it stops.
So why you asking that question?
Because we're role playing. Because right then, like if I couldn't get it at 300, ask them if they're negotiable. Like, okay, but if they're willing to, I guess, budge a little bit, or if the numbers we can get close, I try to make an offer.
Mr. Seller, I know you want 300,000, but is there any wiggle room on that price? Well, I'll take 290. Well, no wiggle room. Whatever they say.
Yeah.
And then that terms thing, what we usually ask them is, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we paid you off in full?
Yeah, because they really don't know what terms is unless they're like, into it, right? Yeah. Okay.
We're either going to say yes, no, or what the heck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's only 3 answers they're going to give to that. And that's when we insert the third party story. When they're like, well, what do you mean terms? Or what do you mean that third party story? Do you have a third party story?
I don't.
Very simple then. Justin, he needs a third party story.
Insert third party story. What we've done in the past is, and just come up with it, just spit it off the dome.
And it's basically based off of what they told you. So what we did in the past in a similar situation as yours, we had a seller that was on the market like yours and couldn't sell it. What we did is we structured a creative deal where we gave them some of the money now and the rest over time. You think something like that would help you out? Well, I don't know what you mean over time. They might say, I don't know. Who cares? I don't really care what they say, to be honest, because we're not looking to close them right then and there on that. Or you wouldn't be, because you already said you don't know how to do it, so don't try to. Just figure out, would they even be open to the conversation? And
just introduce it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You introduce it, and then if they're open, like, tell me more about it. How could that work? Well, how would this thing? You know what? Let me get you on the phone with Chris. He can explain all this to you better. I want to make sure you get all the right information, but you do want to sell. Is that correct? And you do have this timeline. Reiterate the stuff they already told you to make sure that you got all the information you can get. The 4 pillars: timeline, condition, motivation, price. We know what they want. We know what they're trying to do, and then you get them on the phone with a closer, and we close them up. It's that easy.
I got some deals for you then.
Yeah, if they open the terms, we can do a deal with anybody.
Yeah, no,
Creative
actually,
real estate solves all problems. There is not one problem I can think of that can't be solved through creative real estate.
yeah, there's some guy in Florida who's got like a couple of Airbnbs that he's trying to get rid of because he has too many now. But I don't. He says he's not upside down, but what he wants for it is basically market price, and he just can't take anything less for it. So, and I asked him, I was like, "Would you be open to some type of?" I actually was watching your video, so that's why I kind of offered it. But he said, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, I'd be open to that." I was like, "Oh, I didn't expect him to say yes."
That's what we want, and now we just set up a time to get on the phone with them and go through the process, and we close them up. It's just that easy. It happens over and over and over again. Same process. Not rocket science. We don't have to overthink it. You don't have to do no math. Don't need no calculators. It's all in a conversation. What you think about what you're hearing so far, Art? You're muted though.
It all sounds really good. He's saying he got some leads and they want retail price. These are great leads for creative deals.
I prefer them to want more money because the wholesalers can't touch it. They all gave up. I'm glad. Go on and get out the way. I know what to do with it. That's why I was saying earlier about getting the skills up. If you don't know, take the time to learn. Hey, let me figure out this. What am I missing? What about this I don't understand? What about it that you don't understand, Rich? Any part of creative real estate you don't understand?
I guess the paperwork is like, how do I explain that if I'm not like a lawyer? Is it just the concept like, hey, it's kind of like you're the bank, I pay you, and obviously this is like real simplified for just us understanding of like, am I just saying like if you owe $1,500 a month, am I like getting a payment of like 1,800 in cash flowing, and then am I paying them down further down the line with like a lump sum of money if the buyer decides to, I guess, pay it off or get a loan for it? Like, I don't know how any of that works.
Can I answer it, Chris?
Sure, go ahead.
The way you explain these paperwork to these sellers is like you're talking to a third grader. That's the way you do it. Very simple terms that they can understand so they don't get confused. And yeah, you just explain to them overall what you're doing. And yeah, you really don't want to get too far into it, basically. That's the real answer.
Right. You don't want to over explain. You want to have them asking questions and you be able to answer it. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to buy your house. We want to be clear about that. We're not talking about leasing it. We're not talking about none of that other stuff. We are going to purchase your house. We're going through the title company, just like a traditional deal. We're going to pay you over time. Or, so it's going to depend. So if that's why I brought this up. If we're talking about a seller finance deal, we got to structure the deal. If we're talking about a sub 2 type deal where they have a loan, we're going to take over the payments of that loan. Let me pull this up here for you. I even just shared it in the chat there. So this is a little yes script for those who say yes to terms. Script for a seller who says yes to terms. Wow, it's already made out for you. How do you do that? Uh-oh. Did Rich fall off? This was just for Rich, and he disappeared. Mayana said, keep going. There he is. All right. Let me bring him back on. I'll say, this was just for you, Rich. Where'd you go? Now, all right. All right. So the script for let's say yes to terms. So this is say you have a VA or even you, anybody. And that's where the scripts come from. So, hello, this is Chris. You spoke to my assistant yesterday in regards to your house. Did you have a minute? Make sure we want to have their undivided attention for that 5 minutes. That's all it takes to talk to them. Okay, I have all the facts, and you indicated that you would entertain taking a monthly payment if we can agree on a price and terms. Is that correct? They're going to say, yes, that's correct. Okay, so what's the least you could accept if we can agree on a price and terms? Shut up. That's there for a reason. Don't say nothing. Mute. They're going to say a number. Is that the best you can do? They might say a lower number, which is in our best interest. Great. We usually buy with nothing down, okay? They say, okay, we keep it moving. If they stop and say, oh, no, I need something down, then we ask them what's the lowest you need as a down payment. Or what's the lowest you would accept as a down payment. But if they don't, we move on. A lot of times they just say, okay, so we buying and nothing down. Right off the rip. We assuming this stuff by saying it in a way that's confident and believable. If they say no, I need something down, what's the least you can accept as a down payment? If it's an existing loan, I assume you're okay if I just cover your payment until I pay you off. They're going to say yes, probably. Or they might say, oh, no, I got to get some kind of cash flow. That's when you have to get into negotiations. But at least we know where they stand. If it's a free and clear property, or if they just say no, what's the lowest monthly payment you could take? And if it's a free and clear property, that's why I changed the colors on there to green. Free and clear is green. That blue is if it's a sub 2, or if they have a mortgage underlying debt. And we only need 4 pieces of information from them while on this phone call. The price, how much we're putting down, what's the monthly payment, and the length of time if it's a free and clear property. If it's a sub 2 property, I don't do the length of time. I just take it over for the length of time of their particular property. That's how simple it is. Is that making sense, Rich?
Yeah, it's actually like just seeing that. It's like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be that simple.
It's really that simple. Now, they can try to throw you off with some stuff, but if we stay in our frame and ask good questions and pause and let them answer, you'll be surprised at what some of these people will say.
I always thought they would want like some type of down payment.
You know how many houses I bought no money down?
A lot.
About 15 or 20.
Oh wow.
No money down.
People just trying to get out that loan?
You say what?
People are just trying to get out that loan?
Yeah.
Oh
You deal
wow.
with motivated sellers. You can't say nothing wrong to the right person. The right
like that.
person, though. That's the catch. See, we go to
Yeah.
the person that ain't motivated and trying to
Yeah.
convince them. I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. I'm here to help you
Mhm.
solve a problem. These are your problems. Here's a solution. Would you like the solution? Yes or no? If not, no harm, no foul. We follow up with them. If they say yes, let's move forward. We move forward with them. It's just that easy. We don't overthink this stuff.
Yeah.
How many houses you bought no money down, Art?
I bought one so far. I got one of those under contract.
Nice.
How many houses you bought no money down, Justin? Uno.
I'm trying to get like you guys. Huh?
I've been given houses.
About to be 2 if these people start behaving correctly.
So, but even if we had to give them something down, we give them a little bit. 3,000, 5,000, something like that. So like I got a house here I bought, I don't know, 2 years ago. I put a lady, I bought it from a guy. It was an expired listing on the market. Nobody would buy it. It was just sitting. Dude was stuck on a number. Hey, I want 90,000 and not a penny less. I told him the same thing I just got through telling you. We can structure a deal where we can buy the house creatively. So we agreed to do the house. I agreed to give him 4,000 down, 700 a month. So 4,000 down, 700 a month. It was about $1,000 in closing costs. So to acquire this property, I'm in it all in for under $5,000, like 4,700, something like that. Let's just call it $5,000. I get the property. I find a tenant buyer. She gives me $10,000 to move into the house that I had 5,000 in, which means I got no money. In fact, I told the story wrong. I used her 10,000 to close the house, so I really had no money in the deal, and it's on an infinite return. She's renting for $1,595 a month, and I pay him $700 a month. So I'm cash flowing $895 a month on a house I have no money in, that I never qualified for, or none of that. Creative real estate is life changing.
Now, are they paying for all the rehab? Anything goes wrong? Are they responsible for that? Or are you, as the person who I guess is under contract, are you still responsible for that, like a landlord?
You talking about for the tenant buyer?
Yeah.
They 100% responsible for the maintenance and repairs during the lease term.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a landlord. Don't ever get it twisted. I'm not a landlord. I'm like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and all the big banks you see downtown, anywhere USA. We are not fixing on properties at 2 a.m. getting calls, unless it's one of our furnished rentals. If it's a rent to own, lease, purchase, I'm not fixing nothing. That's what it is. It's your house. Why you stay there? And you can live there forever. For all I care. As long as you pay, you can stay. So we enter the deal creatively and we exit on a creative structure deal. That's why I like creative real estate. Game changer. And wholesalers are walking by these deals left and right. So don't be that wholesaler that's like, I only can wholesale it and I can be a one-trick pony. Is that what they call them, Art? A one-trick pony. Don't be that.
Yeah.
Any questions around there, Rich, or anybody?
No, not this time. I just gotta sit around that. Because I mean, now it's like I'm gonna throw it out there every time, even tomorrow. I mean, I know exactly how they're presented, but if that script's there, I'm just gonna offer it if I can't get anything to work.
Yeah, and just see what they're open to. Like I said, you don't have to worry about overly closing them. Just see if they're even open to the conversation. If they open to the conversation, get them on the phone with me, and I'll help you close them. It's really that easy.
Chris, what about my credit?
Oh, we don't need no credit score. We don't need your bank statements. We don't need your W-2s and tax returns. We don't need to know your debt to income ratio. I've never used my credit to buy a house. Matter of fact, I got a VA loan because I was in the Army, and I never use it. I don't even know how to use those loans. I bought all these houses, and I never use none of that stuff. And you can do it too through skill set. So get your skills up, and that'll make your bills up. Ooh. What's going on, James and Shelly Wren? Let me hold 100,000.
Excuse me?
Let me hold 100,000.
Sorry, don't have 100,000. So how's it going, guys?
Give me that house, guys. I'll take it over. Let's do it.
Justin said he want that house. Y'all playing.
Oh, he's got a plan for it?
We always got plans.
We solve problems in real estate. This is what our skill set. That's my superpower. Bring me the real estate problem. We got solutions every time.
Bring me the house. I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, the house is there.
We need the paperwork. We need agreement. Or do we got agreement, or what's going on?
Jim said he want $1 million for it.
No, I don't want $1 million.
What you want for it?
About 450.
Let's do it.
450 for it.
Let's do it.
It's subject to.
Let's do it. What to stop you from moving forward?
I don't see a contract in front of me. That's what's stopping me.
The paperwork makes the paperwork.
Let's do it.
I have not seen an offer in my email from you. So once I do, I will research it. And if I agree to it, I'll sign it. If not, I will counteroffer with what I think is better for both of us.
I keep reaching out for the contact information. I ain't received it yet.
I put it in that chat last week.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Is there no chat today? What the hell?
Yeah, it's on there. There's a private chat. Cool. Anything you working on this week, Art? Anything juicy?
Oh, there it is.
No, not really, Chris.
Don't be slowing up at the end of the year, Art. I see you slowing up at the end of the year.
Man, these outages got me in a chokehold right now. I'm working 12 to 16 hours a day right now.
Really? Oh, that's my normal day.
Yeah.
You don't want to know how many hours I've been working a day. Like 20 minutes. No, I'm just talking. All right. Let's see.
I'll be over these outages in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you for Eva. She was really nice. She cleaned up our house.
Oh yeah, Eva's the best. She did a good job, huh?
We did find some bug larvae eggs in the I don't know, how do they wind up living in a refrigerator?
Yeah.
It was a cold in there because larvae don't like cold, right?
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, they're cold-blooded creatures, so they go dormant when they get cold.
Tell you what I know about larvae.
She said that she looked up in the cabinet because she was wondering where all these gnats came from, and she found some rotten bananas.
Yeah.
I said, what did they must have stuck it up there on purpose, I'm thinking.
They didn't mess up no plumbing in that house, right? You flushed all the toilets and stuff?
There's one toilet we're having an issue with, but everything else is fine. And it's just because that was the one down near the daycare thing. Yeah. I think they put something big ass in there, and I can't get it out. I'm working on it.
Baby kids.
Yeah, probably threw a toy or something down there. Who knows?
Wow. Part of the game.
But everything else throughout the house is fine. Just the basement toilet.
Have you ever heard of Lease Depot?
Nope. What's that? Property management or something?
No, they're the largest lease option company in the country. They just get buyers for lease options. And then they go out looking for sellers that are selling their houses on lease option. And they bring you the buyer for you instead of you going out and hunting for it. Obviously, say for example, I have a house that I want $400,000 for, and I want $3,000 a month. Well, say for example, I need $40,000 down. They would charge their buyer $50,000, and I want $3,000 a month. They charge the buyer $3,100 a month or something like that. So they get their money from the buyers, not us. We don't pay anything to them.
Yeah, that's the same thing Justin's doing.
Sandwich lease. It sounds like a sandwich lease.
Sandwich lease, yeah. It's a sandwich lease.
I wouldn't.
Lease option.
Oh, so you got to lease it to them and then they sublease it to somebody else? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, you have different options. One is going. There's still going to be the middle person, but I'm trying to retain control of the property and let them just deal with all the headache of the property. Trying to figure out a way to get that stuff done.
Did you throw that thing on Zillow yet?
Yeah, it's on there.
You got some responses yet?
Since Friday.
Yeah, it got approved Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they've been kind of slow. I tried to put a property on there. Yeah, like they ain't even see it.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact,
before you put your head on that pillow.
Boy on Zillow.
Hey, Justin, and our blank information is right there in the chat. If you
I got
want to get a hold of us, I mean, we're always here somewhere. You can call one of us. Both our phone numbers are on there.
I got it. Trust me.
You got it saved and signed, sealed, delivered.
Damn, Justin, last week didn't you offer to find them a lease option tenant buyer?
They never gave me their information.
He did offer that, but we didn't come to any final conclusion on what we wanted to do.
Oh, I just heard you saying you was considering Lease Depot. Sound like they're doing the same thing. Actually, it sounds like they're gonna get in a way better position than Justin was gonna be in.
Vicious.
If you want the truth.
Hey, if you want to,
I got a question, Chris. So one of the properties, one thing that did happen with me in the past week, I had my girl run out and look at one of the properties we got under contract, and apparently this property has a heavy infestation of fleas. I am not familiar with fleas at all. I'm not a dog person.
Bomb the place.
Bomb it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with fleas.
I would say contact the
pest control.
Pest control company, because
spend a little $300-$400 or whatever and let the pest control deal with it if it's really that bad.
Right.
Or you could set off some bombs in the house.
We did some bombs in ours and they were still there. I mean, let the professionals.
They were gone.
Let the professionals take care of it. So you're not doing it multiple times.
We got one of those Zevo traps, and
that's cleaning up the rest of them.
It filled up with flies, so I changed it out to a new one Saturday. So there's no more flies in there.
So with the fleas, is it like one of those deals where it takes multiple treatments before they're gone? Or is it like the professionals come out, they do their thing, and then it's all gone the same day?
I would talk to the professionals and get your answers.
You don't need to have something in.
Yeah, we did the hot shot thing there.
Yeah, we did. Is there furniture or any pets or anything in the house?
Hey, what is this thing? That's some new stuff. Flea traps.
Apparently, the seller had like 6 big dogs up in there, but they moved everything out already.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easier. We always used when I had an apartment with my cousin. She had their dogs had. Our dog would get fleas sometimes. We would just set off a bomb in the apartment and they would be gone. But it was one little dog. You might need to have a professional though.
So you got 2 schools of thought there, Art. One, go get you one of those bombs like you just saw online there, $20, $30, $40, $50, whatever it costs. Or contact pest control, find out what they would charge to do it and what is their guarantee. So say if they're like, hey, we'll come out and get it done, and it's $300. So what happens if they're still here? Do you come back for free? What's your process for that? Ask those type of questions with a professional. That might be the easiest route.
It's up to you. What do you want to spend, and how much of a guarantee do you want it to be gone? Because you do it yourself, it does help, but it doesn't completely get rid of them.
Yeah, or I'd like to spend that money. Get you a good pest control person. You need one of them on your team anyway.
Does he?
I mean, you do. You need good pest control. You need a good HVAC person. You need a good plumber. You need, you need these people. Put them in get the good ones. Let them rise to the top and save them forever. It's really that easy. We need these people. Like I was just telling Mayana earlier, 20 people eating off one deal. Everybody eating. The pest control people eating. Title company eating.
Got cleaners, contractors.
Everybody eating.
That's just off market.
Gotta have that pimp mentality.
Pimping ain't easy though.
Proper instructions motivate people. Bars.
How you know that?
How you know that?
See what you done did, Justin? Not somebody calling you.
Hello?
Hey, Justin?
Yeah.
I won't sell my house. You left this thing on my door.
Okay. You say you don't want to sell your house?
I want to sell it.
Okay. How much you looking for?
$300,000.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. How did you come up with that number?
On the street.
That's what it said on Zillow.
Okay. Well, tell me about a little bit of about what's going on.
Well, we got a lot of fleas infestation in here, and we tried the hot shot. We tried black flagger flaw. We tried these little upgraded flea traps for inside the home. We tried a bunch of stuff, but I ain't gonna keep fighting these damn fleas. I'm just gonna sell the house.
I get you. And then, are you currently living in the property?
No, I already moved out.
Gotcha. How long has it been vacant?
A couple weeks now.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody else about selling your property?
No, but I'm about to call James and Shelly and Rich and Art. I got all their contacts right here on my desk. I'm gonna call them and see what they give me for the house.
Gotcha. So you say $300,000. You ready to go?
300,000, unless you want to give me more.
Yes, sir. Do you have a mortgage on the property?
Yes.
About how much do you owe on the mortgage?
I don't know if I want to share that. What do you need to know that for?
I just want to know.
Well, I don't think it's any of your business, sir.
Okay, I totally understand. And you say you haven't tried to sell it, or you haven't spoken to anybody else about the property yet?
No, I got a stack of mail and stuff here. People have been sending me letters and stuff trying to buy it. So I'm just going to go down the line. You just happen to be the first one on top of the stack there.
Yeah, I get it. When's the last time the roof been replaced?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Have you had any work done to the property?
Yeah, we did those bombers and foggers to get those fleas out, but other than that, no, not really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. We had to, we was able to get your number that you were looking for, the 300,000, but we had to do something a little bit creative to get you there. Would that be something you'd be open to doing?
I don't know what that means. Creative. What's that?
Well, what we've done in the past is, let's say Miss Mary, we've been dealing with her for a while, where every single month she receiving payments, towards that asking price that she was looking for. No one else was able to get it done for her. We got it done for her, and now she's receiving mailbox money every month on the 5th. Does that sound like something that can help you out?
Oh, you mean like you want to make me payments every month?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I never looked into that. I mean, did you want to come see the house first? Because you might not like it with all these bugs.
Chris, I've done enough deals where I know, assuming that you're truthful and everything you're saying, I don't need to see it in order to buy it.
Oh, so you can buy a house without seeing it?
Yes, sir. We do it every day.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I was gonna start showing it to people this weekend. I was gonna say you can come by and see it, but I don't know. I mean, you said you don't even need to see it.
No, sir. We can go ahead and move forward and get the paperwork over the title. We get this thing done within the next 10 days. Would there be any reason we wouldn't be able to move forward?
Yeah, if I call one of those other people and they offer me more.
Okay. Are you looking for the best price or the easiest closing?
A little bit of both, but probably more so the easiness of it. We don't want to make it too stressful because I don't really want to go back over there. I'm leaving everything in the house. It's a bunch of stuff in there. I'm leaving it all there.
Well, Chris, I'm gonna let you know. This is what we do. We execute on this all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. We can get this thing done for you within the next 10 days, guaranteed, at the price that you're asking for. Assuming that everything you've said is true, we'll step in and then we can get those payments over to you. Like I say, every single month, and take care of you and get this thing done.
What kind of payment would you give me a month?
We have to work out the numbers to see how we can structure something that'll make sense for you. But yeah, we usually do with situations like this. We step in, get the house under control, get everything fixed up with it, and then be able to get someone in it so that we can make sure we're paying you every single month.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to see something. Can you send me something like that in writing?
Yeah, of course. What's a good email for you?
Chris@futurecashflowclub.com.
Okay, great. Got it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and send something over in writing. I'm going to go ahead and send over the agreement as well, Chris, assuming that everything you're saying is true and, that you actually believe what I'm saying as well. So I'm going to send it over to you tonight. Let me ask you, after you review everything, is there any reason we wouldn't be able to move forward?
Well, I'm going to take a look at what you got on your paperwork, and I'm going to let my attorney look at it. And if he says everything looks good, we'll be probably ready to move forward.
Okay, great. So on the scale of 1 to 10, Chris, how much do you trust me?
Well, I don't know you yet. That's why I was going to meet you over at the house. I'm going to stand outside and let you go in. I was going to unlock the door and stand out, outside on the street because I don't want them little jumpy fleas jumping up on me and stuff. So that's what I was going to meet you. Then I can elevate my trust level for you. But I don't know. I don't trust you that much right now.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna let you know, Chris. Everything goes through title, so we make sure to do these things to make sure everything is nice, clean, and precise. We close with title insurance to make sure that there is no problems, no liens on the property, anything like that. And like I say, assuming that everything I've said is true, would you be ready to move forward here today?
Yeah, I owe $285,000 on it.
Okay, so you're looking to make an exit of 15 grand.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can definitely structure something creatively where we're able to step in, take over those mortgage payments so you no longer have to take those anymore. And then we can make payments towards you in the difference. Does that sound like something that can help out your situation?
Sounds interesting now. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that email at chris@futurecashflowclub.com. I'll check it out, and if it looks good, we'll get it going. All right. Thanks for taking my
appreciate
call.
you, Chris. Talk to you soon. Thanks again.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Rich, how do you think that call went?
Well, pretty good.
Was it smooth? Was it believable? Was it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I felt like he was in control. Kind of led down the path of he was in control of the conversation. So yeah, I just got to practice it. That's all.
That's it. He who asks the questions is in control of the conversation. How do you think you did, Justin?
I was a little sloppy. I wasn't as concise, or I didn't tap into the motivation like I needed to and everything. I heard you say about the fleas and stuff. It was pretty quick. I probably could have got more into the rapport building and everything. But once I identified the property, the problem, you wasn't staying in it, it's vacant. I just really got straight to the point. I probably could have played around with that motivation a little bit more and, dig deep into that pain and stuff. I could have did. I didn't do cash terms last, so I could have beat you up a little bit more on that 300,000. I didn't touch that really. I just kind of took it for face value. Say you was open to payments. I think I could have been a little bit clearer on my third party story. That's what I say to that.
Getting good at it, Justin. You say he critiqued the whole thing. Dang, he wasn't playing. What do you think, James? Was that a good call? Would you sell him your house with that call?
Well, I think you kind of broke into the more of the salesperson side instead of asking the questions because you were trying to sell yourself more than you were asking questions about the house. You were like saying, trying to ask the guy if he trusted you and stuff like that. And if he's going to trust you, he's going to trust you. You don't have to ask him. Is the way I look at it.
I agree.
It's more just didn't really get into why the guy was selling or what is
Why
that the
are
least?
you
Is
selling?
that
And
the least?
what happens if you don't sell?
Yeah, exactly. Those types of things.
I get you. I want to respond to that, right? So one of the things I've noticed when you don't address certain things that you might feel on a call with a person, they'll get off the phone with you and then they won't answer the phone again. So I like to be like direct. So I felt that there was a confidence thing that wasn't being communicated between myself and the seller. And so in order to try to raise that up, I was willing to come back the elephant in the room, like, hey, do you on a scale of 1 to 10, do you trust me? Oh, yeah, you cool or whatever. I wanted to meet you in person. See that in person thing, that was an objection that he was messing around with and stuff. Like, hey, we don't need to see each other for me to move forward. And assuming that everything you're saying is truthful, I'm ready to go in the contract. Is there any reason we can't go in the contract? We don't say contract, we say agreement to people, but I just want to address all the elephants in the room, on anything weird, because when you get off the phone with them, they just don't answer, then you lose them. So I want to try, to corral whatever these objections, handle these objections. Hey, he had a whole list of people he wanted to call. Hey, if I'm able to get this thing, so I have to bring up his confidence. If I'm your guy, I need to do a little bit of selling to myself. So that's just my opinion. We can talk about it. I do think you have to raise people belief in you as being the one who can help their situation. And I think a lot of people kind of miss that opportunity to raise people confidence on those type of things. So
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, too, a better way I would think to raise their confidence is, they told you they're paying. What have you done already to solve that problem? What have you tried? Make them tell the story, because now they told you the story. That's automatically building rapport because now they feel like you know them. You understand what they're going through. You say it's a lot of fleas. Wow. I mean, how'd you get? What happened? If somebody left some dogs in there or something? Or what happened? How did it go down? Or something to that effect, where they can just basically tell you the story that, yeah, she had all them damn cats in there and this and that, whatever the story is, whatever. But I'd rather for them to dump that off on me. That's how I raise their confidence on when I understand their whole situation. Mayana, did you have anything? Did you think anything about that call? Did you hear it? She's not there no more. She left. Art, did you have any thoughts on that call? They on mute, so they must be gone. Mute to my debut. So yeah, like I said, it's just that's the kind of stuff. I don't necessarily put it on me. I more so put it on their situation. Help me understand your whole situation. How did you get to this point? What's the challenge you're having in actually accomplishing what you're trying to do? What have you tried to do so far to overcome that challenge? And then offer some solutions. And if the solution works, we move forward. Any other thoughts about that call from Justin? Yeah, tell him, Taraya. Taraya got something to say. She's like, nah, I would have did it totally different. Say it, Taraya.
I agree with the criticisms that Justin gave himself. I would say I'm a very empathetic person, so I do like to allow the conversation to be led a little bit more with the person's problem and how I can solve it versus why I'm a better person for the job. But that's just me personally. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best route to go. Because I mean, what do people care about the most? Themselves. So I'm gonna make sure you get to tell me all about yourself. Forget me. I'm a guy that I solve problems for people like this. Tell them a little story. We've done it before. It's simple for us. We can solve your problem.
in human nature is the more you tell somebody, the more you trust them, because you start spelling out the more that you trust them over time.
Yep.
I would have wondered why he just like left the property.
Because of them damn bugs.
The bugs.
Yeah, but I mean
the fleas.
that's if he owes money on it, why would you just like abandon the property like that?
But Shelly, I'm with you. I like to, as a lawyer, when people call me with their problems, even though I already know the answer, I like to let them vent because people want to talk a little bit about what's going on. So I probably would have opened up a little bit more with like, okay, how do we get the bugs in the house? Why did you leave the property? Just let them talk about it a little bit more. And like James said, it just gives them a little bit more trust in you because they're sharing this personal story.
Yeah, it might not be just the bugs. I mean,
Right.
I understand that's a reason to leave, but if you're paying for something, I would want to solve the issue over just abandoning the property. I mean, it's like, where is he now? What's his living situation now?
Yeah. I agree. So yeah, just let them talk more. That's all. And role play is a little bit difficult.
So it's kind of like asking open questions and allowing them to tell you a story versus yes, no answers. We want to allow them to vomit all their pain off on me and like, damn, you got a lot of stuff going on. Good night.
People do that to me every day when I massage them, whether I like it or not.
Yep.
Oh,
everybody want counseling, so that's another skill.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to your postman and say, hey, I need some counseling today. Can you just listen to me vomit all this stuff to you?
They'll do it. And the more they do it, that's automatic rapport. A lot of people don't realize that. That is rapport.
A lot of it's timing.
Yeah.
And then I always respond with, wow, that's crazy. How does that make you feel? What of course you don't want to waste too much time getting too much into feelings, but yeah, letting people just vent just a little bit makes them feel better about themselves. And I can assure you the last investor that called them did not care. Probably was like, okay, anyway, so what are we going to do next? And so it just makes them feel a little bit more warm, more fuzzy, and like they can work with you more. So like Justin was saying, making them feel comfortable with you without asking that direct question. It's just, I feel comfortable with you because you sat and listened to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I really don't want to sound like other people on the phone ever. If somebody's saying it on the script, I don't want to say it. I don't want to sound like me. I'm me. If you like me, we're going to do a deal. If you don't like me, no harm, no foul. We'll go our separate way as friends. But I'm not trying to go in there and, sound scripty or sound kind of like everybody else. Just get to the thing. No, I want to know what's going on with you. Like when I talk to these people that's in foreclosure, I ask them, do you have food and everything? You able to eat? Like simple stuff. Like people don't even think about this. People out here, they ain't even eating.
Yeah, we actually had what was it? You were talking to somebody this week that was just strictly asking questions, not even letting us talk, and you're trying to get us to work with you. And it's like, geez, why would we want to work with you if you don't want to hear nothing about us? It's exactly what we were thinking, because he was asking, okay, what's your credit score? What's this? What's that? And it's like, well, we don't really want to get to that point yet. Let's talk a little bit about what do you do and what do we do? Let's see if we can mesh first, and then we get to that stuff.
I know. I was immediately turned off because we were talking.
And it kind of shut down the whole conversation just by the way he managed it.
Yeah, it was kind of because we were talking about borrowing money. He reached out to us, though. We didn't reach out to him. It was, I think we met him at Sub 2, the Meet Squat Up Summit. And
oh, is that where we met him?
Yeah, that's what he said. We met him, and he was just reaching back out. And then he started, like Jim said, started talking about credit scores and all that stuff. And I thought, I really don't want to tell you that, and I really don't think that it's pertinent right now when I'm getting to know you. I don't know you, and
That's the same thing when we're talking to these sellers. What's your loan balance? How much you owe? What's your monthly payment? Or how much you behind? I don't ask that stuff till way later in the conversation. I need to understand them before we get into all of that.
Yeah, you want to build a rapport before you get into the detailed questions that you need to know in order to make an offer.
Because sometimes they just tell you during the conversation.
Yeah, sometimes they will just blurt it out before you even have to ask.
and I'm right here like this, writing it down, 800 a month, whatever that payment is, whatever. Let's go. So it's a lot of things, and especially with AI coming out, you don't want to be a robot on these phone calls. Lean into the human side of it. With these robots and stuff doing everything, if you sound like them, you're gonna, you're basically playing with an arm tie behind your back. Remember to be a person first. Oh wow, you were in the army too. Oh, my dad was in the military. Oh yeah, we got a dog too. His name's Fluffy. Whatever. We have to build rapport with something to connect us to people versus just, how old is the roof? When the last time you fixed something? I don't even like asking about the house that much, to be honest. I got away from that a long time ago. I really want to ask more about your situation. The house gonna be what the house gonna be. I really know you.
And you can pretty much get most of it by looking at it and researching it online. There's only a few questions that you really need to ask the person anyway.
Yeah.
As far as the house itself, you're just trying to get the person to come over to your way of thinking is what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Now, do you think it's because I feel like when I was first starting out, I really went into condition fast enough. Like that's what I did. Like like the condition, but I know you're trying to see their motivation and extract things from them. But do you think talking about condition first kind of opens up the conversation, or do you think it kind of should still be weighted towards the end?
Condition can be done early on, but general condition, I don't want to get down a rabbit hole of how old is the roof, when the chance I did the furnace, what the countertops look like, what color are the cabinets, you got any good knobs or bad knobs? I don't want to know all that. That's too much. What's the general condition of the property? Does it need a little bit of work, a lot of work, or no work at all? If there was something you had to fix there, what would that be? Simple, but I don't want to harp on that. We talk about the 4 pillars: timeline, condition, motivation, price. We want to stay on motivation more than any of that stuff. Motivation. Why are you selling? What's stopping you from selling? What have you done to get over that challenge? What happens if you don't sell? Those types of questions. We want to understand that part more so than anything else, because that's what's going to make the deal work. So hopefully that helps you out on that. Any other questions about that call or anything, I guess, here tonight as we're coming down on the last part of it? We're about to land this plane. Got questions? Insert now.
So if I got a actual deal, I can hit you up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you get the 4 pillars out the way: timeline, condition, motivation, and price, I'll help you get them from that point.
Okay, well, I'm talking about if I get someone to contract, because I know if I need someone to walk it, because I didn't really know too many people in Missouri like that, but now I'm virtual in St. Louis, so it's I'm gonna need somebody to walk properties. I don't know if you know a company or just a photographer, stuff like that. So that'd be cool.
You're plugged in with the best.
Nice.
All we need is a fish on the hook. We figure out a way to get them to the finish line. I'm trying to close 2 this week. They're supposed to close already, so we're gonna see how this goes.
Are you virtual, or are you in other states? Or are you just all over Missouri?
St. Louis mostly, because I'm really looking to buy more. So I will wholesale a deal. I've done wholesale deals out of state, North Carolina, Virginia, stuff like that. But I don't necessarily market there.
Oh, okay.
Actually, somebody just brought me a deal in Alabama. Let me see what that was. So she got some kind of apartment or something in Alabama. I said, Alabama? I ain't never even been to Alabama. I'd have been to every state. One state I ain't been to, you want to bring some in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm like, why are you bringing it to me? I guess I'll figure it out or help her or something. Let me see. This is in, I think they said Birmingham. Birmingham. Yeah, it's in Birmingham, Alabama. This is
something in Birmingham.
I don't even see the damn house.
Did you say it was a multifamily?
Yeah, it was multifamily. I'm trying to see where it was.
We something, didn't we?
How many units is it?
If I can find it. Let me see. Damn, where is it at? I don't even remember where they sent it to me. I'll be getting so many messages and stuff all the time.
Oh, I know. Well, we understand.
You.
Well, you get them from so many different sources is the problem. You get emails, texts.
I tell them to email me because it keeps the system clear and clean. You want to keep your systems correct with some respect. Because if not, the block is hot. So that's why for all of you as well, I'd suggest making yourself what they call a buy box. A buy box. What's a buy box, Rich?
Whatever I guess your buyer is looking for. If they're looking for multifamilies, single families, you kind of just want to get real specific as far as like
Oh,
what they're buying. That's what I don't know, like exactly what you have there, but yeah, just kind of asking your buyers what they're looking for.
and so I already made my buy box up. So there it is. That's what I suggest all of you do as well. So you know what you're looking for if you are buying. Kind of have an idea. It don't have to be too specific, but at least we got an idea on where we want to be as far as a cash deal, as far as a creative deal. Make up a buy box. That's your homework for next week, Rich. You need a buy box. And you too, Justin. Homework. They're like, we don't got no homework. Art already got his made, I know. We know Art already on it, so I ain't got to worry about him.
So you take balloon, like you look for balloon, like
No.
oh okay.
Balloons. Oh, if there is a balloon, it need to be over 7 years. We don't want no 2-year balloon, 1-year balloon, because balloons are for clowns.
Gotcha. Okay.
Try not to have balloons on residential.
Try not to have a balloon at all. But if there is one, it can't be no 2-year stuff. We got to get some money out of it.
7 or more minimum.
I know that's right. Preferably none. I do 10 or 12. Matter of fact, the one I'm working on is a 12-year balloon. So I just made that up. That's the thing about creative real estate. You make it up. All right. So that's that. And we got a question for you, Justin. What reading material would you recommend to better a person's communication skills?
That's a great question. First off, I would say you should have a script that you memorize. That's first. In this particular game, just everything. So I would say the main thing is write down what people are saying to you when you talk to people, because practice don't make perfect, it makes better. So every time, every conversation you have, write down what they are saying to you. What objections are they giving you? Then you can come up with rebuttals to those objections. So if you're dealing with cars, people are going to say the same thing. Excuse me. People are going to say the same thing to you all day, every day. They're going to say, I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my husband. I need to think about it. And you need to have a response to that. So you have to go within yourself, which is the best material, is to say, when I'm talking to people every day, what are they saying to me? And then you write those things down. You become more prepared within yourself. Now, if you want to learn, sales, grab that book for me.
Not the Closer Survival Guide.
Yeah, buddy. Bam! I have the original copy. They updated it. It don't look like this anymore.
You ain't get Grant Cardone to sign it yet.
Nah, I need to meet up with Grant so we can give him the signing and everything.
He gonna be like, "You got my first book." No.
The original. So, this just tells you the structure of sales. But the main thing with selling and all of that stuff is gonna be you have to be sold within yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the product, the service you pushing. If you don't believe in that stuff, it's gonna be very, very hard to convince a person to do business with you. I believe that I can help people out their situation. I believe it. And if I don't believe it, I just want to do the deal.
Right. And that's it. You have to be sold first before you try to sell somebody else.
Yeah. So Close by Grant Cardone, Uncle G. That's his picture right there.
The young Grant Cardone. He's about 35 on that picture.
Yeah, he was he old now.
Father Time is undefeated. I don't care how rich you get. So hopefully that helped you out there, Rory. But what I would say, you need to get on these hit next week. Make sure to come on the screen so you can do one of these role plays. Because if you're talking about communication, the only way you're going to get better communicating is communicate. Do it. Practice. Actually get on here, say the words. So we'll know what you're saying. So we might have to say, remove this word out the vocabulary. That word isn't doing you any good. Like when you deal with these people overseas, these virtual assistants, they're like property. I'd be like, nope, don't even say the word property, say house. Just remove it from your vocabulary. I'm not trying to beat you up about it. Oh yes, we do that to set your property. No, sir, we're not doing that. So those are just the little things that I come across when I've seen out here. So change the word or get your word riffs together. Any other questions before we land?
Yeah, one more. So when you're looking for a cold caller, are you like training them yourself, or are you hiring out to a company that kind of trains them for you?
I train everybody myself. So our company has already training videos on how to do everything within the company. So if there's a new hire come on or a virtual assistant comes on, they already have everything set up for them. How we want things to be done, how we like questions to be asked, certain words to stay away from. All of this stuff's broken down. And that's something you build up over time within your company on how you want things done. You might only want them to get the 4 pillars and get on the phone, which is the best way for any virtual assistant. I don't really want them trying to do too much stuff unless they're trained on closing people or something, because you can train them to do anything. But first they got to get, the basics out the way.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I hate people who do my calls. I ain't gonna lie to you. Unless they are, I just don't like the foreigner stuff and all of that. I know my guy Ray, he swears by having, the foreigners making the phone calls and stuff for you. And I just don't think it's something that's not being communicated. It's easy to generate a lead. They used to drag people when I had companies pay for leads and stuff for me. They would drag people on the phone with you. And then they I don't know what I'm even on the phone with you for. So, I know they say a lead is a lead is a lead, but, I just don't find that much talent out there unless you personally train them or you right next to them and you able to be in on the call, because people just going to mess up the leads. They're going to mess up the data and all of that stuff, in my opinion, because they just don't know. For example, he who speaks first loses, right? When you ask something, you want to get an answer out of that. I don't think anybody who's not serious about learning how to communicate effectively is going to be able to understand that concept. Just my opinion. I hate virtual stuff. I would rather, cold call them filling out a form myself than, trying to hire somebody from overseas, the Philippines and all that for $2 an hour. It just don't work to me, in my opinion.
Unless you train them. I've done some deals with some VAs, but like I said earlier, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. These people were overly motivated and they just happen to call them. So they got to truly be motivated to go through a VA, especially if they got that thick accent. They got to get that accent gone and, use the words that we train them to use. That's why I created those training videos, and I'll walk them through and go. I don't have any VAs now, but when I did have virtual assistants, that's the way I had to do it, to make sure they do it the way I want them to do it. I prefer to have a non-trained virtual assistant, to be honest, because you get these ones that so-called trained, they got bad habits already that you got to break them out of. Like, oh man, we don't do that like that over here. Don't ask that. Oh, they're going to list it for you and all that stuff. No, man, I don't even use those words. No. But it is what it is. Part of the game. So don't forget this. Is it this weekend? This weekend, the 25th. Is that this weekend? Yeah, that is this weekend. Where are we going to be at? At the networking meetup here in sunny St. Louis, October 25th, right there at the Foundry. It's 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Come by, say hi, and shake hands and kiss some babies. And next month, the 14th, I believe, Pace Morby will be in St. Louis. So yeah, that'll be the next thing right after that. So we got some good stuff coming up here the next couple of weeks. Go out here, knock on some doors, ring some phones, generate some leads, and we work them. That's all we can do. Work with the people who want to work with you. All of that, trying to convince them stuff. I mean, some people like doing it. It's just not my thing. It's never been my thing. I never saw anything good come from it. I'm going to make you work with me. No, you ain't got to work with me. Go do what you're doing. You'll be back because they can't help you. I know I can help you. So that's what we got. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of the evening.
Take care, guys.
Anything else? Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Not. Just have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
There you go. So with all that being said, do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see. I don't know what you've been doing. You've been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do.